Hello everybody and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're back today for another episode of Judge Dredd, Assault on Justice. And we've got the full cast and crew and an extra member, it looks like, with us today to assault some more justice. So let's go around the cast and crew. Let's remind ourselves of who we are and who we're going to be playing today. And let's start with Mr. Judge Kane Pruitt. How's it going today, my friend?
It's going great. It is good to be back here with the crew in Mega City 1, ready to dispense justice with extreme prejudice. And I can't wait to get to it and see just how this all shakes out, because we got some stuff to do and some loose ends to tie up and not much time to do it in. So I can't wait to jump back in the boots of Judge Kane and stomp on some baddies.
Fantastic stuff. And of course we have Callum and a friend as well. Hello. How's it going, Callum?
This is Soren. I'm very proactive, trying to breed new generations of role players to the hobby. I'm working very hard on that.
It's a program.
Introducing him to the best, starting with the first. So best player, best judge for mommy game Masters Dredd, actually. So I am Callum from the Rise podcast, the proudly London-based show of tabletop RPG fans across the channel, the pond and beyond. Please come check my podcast or go check my TikTok. I'm making RPG a day videos at the moment, and there's extra content also on Patreon, and I share the videos everywhere, and I make a complete food of myself. I run gym on my balcony in food market.
Wow. Isn't TikTok what all the kids use? That's super cool. Wow. Fantastic. And of course, Judge Phil. Yeah, that's where we're training the children. Fantastic stuff. We have Susie back with us today. Susie, how's it going?
Hey, I'm glad to be back. I've missed everybody. I've missed stepping into the fabulous shiny boots of Judge Judy, who apparently had a bit of a stroke there. But yeah, I feel like the real thing we have to just do is pull one out for a real one. Rip Judge Denny. He will be missed.
Hashtag Rip Denny. Ah, dear.
Oh, you said
yes.
pour one out. Okay, never mind.
Wow.
And
already.
of course, it's too soon. We have Sean with us today. Sean, how's it going?
Good. I'm happy to have the entire group and take out some crime trash today, everybody. So playing Judge Fremont, the side judge, so make sure everyone's thoughts are law-based.
Yes, absolutely. Fantastic stuff. And as myself, I'll be GM tonight, weaving the tale of the various crazy NPCs that exist in Mega City 1 and those who no longer exist, in fact, which takes me to a recap for the session from last week, which, of course, saw the death of one very brave, the bravest of us all, in fact, Judge Denny, who's unfortunately no longer with us. The party tried bravely to save him, but in the end, how to say how Judge Denny died? Well, there was a myriad of circumstances which led to his death, which involved some drowning, some electroshock therapy, I guess, some attempted resuscitation, which didn't go well. In the end, I guess we could say friendship kills Denny. After they tried so very hard to bring him back.
We cared too much and tried too hard.
We cared too hard. We smothered.
Exactly.
No matter how much CPI I did, it was never enough. Not enough for me.
Smothered him to
Not
death
enough for him.
They need...
with love and their hands. So Denny is no longer with us, but really, who is to blame for this? Of course, it is the evil Judge Womack, who, plot twist, turns out to be Judge Kane's true father. And after capturing Kane and Denny, Womack is now back out on the loose, and we're all left grieving, but ready for revenge against the one who is to blame for this. So, on on that note, that's where we're going to begin today's game. I'll quickly run you guys through the sponsors as well before we get started here. Of course, our sponsors for today include FantasyGrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice, so go and check those guys out over there on their website or download it via Steam. Drake, thank you for the reset, my friend. What else we got? WaylandGames.co.uk, the go-to destination for tabletop, board games, war games, and more. And last but not least, check out tabletoploot.com. And if you haven't yet gone and retweeted this tweet, go and check it out. When we hit 20 retweets, we'll give away a set of dice to you guys there in the chat. And we're already well over half the way there. So, to today's session, my friends, in what could be the very last time we see our judges out in action. But they're not in action today because after the events that transpired last episode, some time has passed, not too much time, enough for you guys to report back in and tell the judges at the Hall of Justice exactly what happened. And all of the Hall of Justice has fallen into mourning, for he was recognized as the greatest of us all. And with the robot war still raging, and with Judge Womack and his forces encroaching every day upon the Hall of Justice, this is a blow that the judges cannot afford to take. And it's so with great mourning and misery that we find ourselves beginning today's episode maybe a couple of hours before Judge Denny's funeral. This event is going to be attended by all of the judges at the Hall of Justice, and is expected to be quite a grand affair. You have all been asked to attend this event, obviously, and no doubt you guys are also like pallbearers as well. Maybe expected to, say a few words about the late Denny. It in fact reminds you of an event you not so recently, you quite recently in fact attended, which was the award ceremony for young Judge Denny. But this day is far gloomier. And well, actually, maybe for some of you, it's a happier event. So we'll pick up at the Hall of Justice a couple of hours before the funeral. What are you guys wearing to it? Obviously, you guys are going to be like transported from the Hall of Justice to the funeral along with everyone else with the lawmaker funeral cars. Funeral bikes. That's a really long bikes that all of the judges
with a stretcher.
Exactly. So, who would be first on the scene today? Who would be the first one to arrive for this funeral?
I think Judge Kane would be the first to arrive because
it's really early. Super ready for it.
We're not done with this yet. We don't want to go ahead and get this over with.
and so, what is Judge Kane wearing? Has he changed his attire at all for today's event?
I'd like to think that there is a formal dress judge's uniform for occasions such as these. Maybe a little bit. If they can be darker and more muted, they are maybe a little bit less gold shiny and a little bit more for mourning. And of course, he's got the little black sash across the badge, in remembrance for a fallen judge. He's ready to pay his proper respects as much as they are due.
Fantastic stuff. So you arrive a little before the others, and the only person here at this point, really, other than a few sort of janitors who are in early and stuff, is of course your friend Walter, the robot, who sort of shuffles on over. He's wearing a full sort of black suit over his robot body, looks fit for a funeral, and says, good to see you, sir. Perhaps I could get you a beverage of mourning.
I'll take a number 2. Go ahead and have a little bit heavier pour than usual.
Of course, sir. I have laden all of the drinks with some additional tears. For flavor and for the sadness.
It only seems appropriate.
I thought so, sir. Oh, here we go. Who would be next on the scene at this point? Who's next to arrive? Still a little early. Yeah,
I think
Fremont?
Fremont would be next because I don't think she has to do very much prep to come to this thing because she has the same like dress uniform that she had to Denny's celebration, but her general like countenance and her like appearance is more appropriate here, probably more than anything else. Her dour like her just appearance and makeup is just she actually looks a little bit more at ease now. Like she seemed like out of place at this, but no, this is normal for her.
Yeah. Does Fremont quite enjoy a funeral?
Well, everyone is thinking about the same thing, which means less chatter in her mind.
Cool, okay. So you see Walter and Kane. Walter's pouring out a slightly suspicious-looking beverage. Judge Fremont, perhaps you would like a beverage as well.
What do you have?
Well, the usual, but anything comes with some added tear water.
Just wine. I'll try and not think about that. Just.
Do you want to know where I got the tears from?
No, I would less like to think about that than possible.
Let's just say that I've learned a lot about eye ducts recently.
She thinks she just like flashes back to the van and all the knives. Like, maybe double it. I'm gonna need something to get through this.
Very good. Who then would be the next of our judges to arrive back on the halls?
I can
I
be.
think Judy shows up next. I think
Okay,
Judy,
okay.
for once, is not the last one here. But she does arrive very stylishly. She has matte black shoulder pads. You know, the big eagle and the big other bit, matte black. Her badge is matte black. Her uniform is just like sleek. It's nicely tailored and black. On her head, she's not wearing a helmet because Judy doesn't wear a helmet. But she does have a black net fascinator, like pulled over her face, with the black netting over her face. And then she has her usual like red lipstick, smoky eye going on. And she just sort of casually walks up like, hey. Nice day for a funeral.
Oh, yes.
That's one way to put it.
She's kind of casually holding out a hand waiting for Walter to deposit a drink.
Yeah, he doesn't even ask, he just deposits one.
Thank you, Walter.
There you go. Well, it appears we are just waiting then for Mr. Fair, though I understand he's probably having a very hard time with all of this. I understand he was very close with Captain Denny.
I think out of all of us, he and Denny had the strongest relationship.
You see a Lowmaster approaching. As it approaches, you realize that there's bolted to the back a baby seat with a baby in it. And to the front, there's a box of tissues which has been taped. And Judge Fair stops. What a sad day. You're already here. You arrived before me. No,
We
close
just
you
wanted
were
to make
to him
sure.
as well.
Just want to make sure that the hall was clear when you got here.
Kane, come on. Give me a hug.
And
Come
Kane
on,
reluctantly walks up to Fair, and he gives him a one-armed side hug. All right, let's keep it within regulation.
Well,
3 taps.
can I have a drink, please? I have one of those margaritas.
Ah, very good, yes, with extra salt on the rim.
Ah, God, this is salty.
Tear salt.
It's from the rim. Yes, very good.
The rim of what?
Well,
When is this starting?
we're ready when you are. I understand that the funeral lawmakers are all arranged outside for you. But I understand you might want a moment to gather yourselves before such a hard day. Very difficult.
Oh, ready.
I, of course, feel nothing. But if I could feel, I would feel bad.
I envy
Is
you
that for all the
sometimes.
people you've murdered, Walter?
This one, so funny with the jokes.
Yes, the jokes.
Thanks, Walter. I appreciate the thought of your programming.
I'm due you would, sir. And I'm sure if Captain Denny were with us here today, he too would appreciate what all of you are doing and have done. He was very appreciative of everyone, all of the time.
You can be okay there, Judge Fair.
Yeah, it's just my breathing didn't improve between the crying. You know.
Still from the mouth, yes.
Yeah.
It's a mouth cry.
So what happened to Womack? I'm confused by the last events.
Well, of course, naturally, it seems as though he made good his getaway while you were all saving Captain Denny. Although I will note that the coroner's report was slightly strange. They mentioned all sorts of things that had happened to Captain Denny's body before his eventual death. I was wondering if maybe you could explain what happened
Look,
there.
we were just doing CPR and trying to save him. That's all.
No. Judge Fair.
Listen.
Judge Fair is a little messed up on the information. It was the robots. The robots did everything to him.
Ah,
Now, Fremont.
bastards.
Here's the thing: we can't lie here. We did try to save him. Now, a lifetime of television and movies have shown that CPR is just a non-violent thing, but everyone knows that cracked sternum, cracked ribs, they all can happen when giving real CPR. We tried everything we could to save Denny, include kill him more.
This is not a TV show. It's reality here. Tough
But on the
life
plus
and
side-
death of a judge.
I feel
That's
like
the title
we
of
did
my
help.
biography, by the way.
We helped counter Fez's substance abuse problem by pumping every substance we had into Denny.
That is
yes.
certainly one way to go about it.
So if we
Fortune-
look at it in a brighter light, our failing with Denny was really us saving another judge.
He died so
and
the fair.
if yes, quite. He, if there was one thing Captain Denny was good at, it was putting others before himself.
Absolutely.
Oh, certainly.
A
Yes.
hero.
Always let the other guy go first. Takes a lot of spine for that.
Certainly
Truly
does.
was the best of us.
Well, the halls of justice will be less without him. And I must say, I've heard from High Command whispers around here that we're losing this war. They're very worried now that Denny's gone. The leadership of this place. I'm not sure we'll be able to find a new leader.
No one like Denny.
Well, perhaps we all should try to be a bit more like Denny.
That's an interesting idea, Walter.
You can't replace Denny. Thank goodness.
I don't think
All
we
right.
should try.
Should we mount up and get this done? One
Yes.
last time for Captain Denny.
One last ride.
Last time, Denny. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And
Walter,
so
I'm gonna-
Walter leads you. Order some stiff drinks with extra salt from Walter as you go. Take a quick swig, and it does take the edge off just a little bit. It does really help with the whole mourning process. And you see the extended lawmakers ready for the funeral, and all of the other judges, in the huge tree of Mega City 1 are also mounting up, and there's a sort of funeral procession about to begin. Please, one of you take the driving seat and lead us there.
Kane will go
Kane?
ahead and hop up
As our leader.
Yeah.
Hop on the stretch, Lawmaster. Everybody get on behind, and then is the casket at the back of the stretch, Lawmaster? Or...
yeah, absolutely. I think there's it's got a lot of features. Little champagne floats pop out from the side as well.
But yeah,
It's like
he
a party.
hops out there and lights it up and gives the engine a good rev to let everyone know to start their engines and whatnot. And of course, turn the lights on to make sure everybody knows it's part of the procession. And then proceed at the what the law says. It's a funeral procession. We don't go any faster than 10 miles an hour.
Which is especially difficult to remain on a heavy motorbike.
Like 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot. Just.
Oh my god. Thank you to Charlie, who's donated for some monster robots attack for Nettie. Or two magic surgeons, my choice. I think I'm gonna go for the monsters. The monster robot sounds too much for me to resist at a time like this. So as you guys are on this wobbly, massive, like 100 feet long. It's like a ridiculously long set of sidecars. At 10 miles an hour, all of the judges wobbling along, all trying to rebalance another. Eventually, you sort of get it to such a way that you're coordinating with the ways which you're leaning. So you're sort of balancing the thing. And you're headed down this long, street with hundreds of other of these cars, or bikes rather, when suddenly you begin to hear a low sort of thud, which sounds like it's coming from a distance, but it sounds huge, like a monstrous step, a rumble of rubble and what could be a building being destroyed. This sort of boom, boom. And you hear Judge Quarter on your helmet radios. He says, "What the hell was that? You guys hearing that?"
Procession stop. And I just announce that, throw a hand up and hit the brake. The whole thing come to a stop.
There's a lot of falling off the bike and very awkward moments for all of the judges involved. But a couple of minutes later, everyone, okay, we're good.
And in that time, Kane is gonna just listen and wait for another bounce. And he'll even take his drink that he was drinking out of the holder and put it on the ground and wait for the shimmer of liquid with the next step.
That's it. Yeah, immediately it begins to shudder, and crashing down several hundred feet down the end of the road. There is a building is suddenly flattened. A huge skyscraper comes tearing down. And you see this monstrous creation of steel and metal and circuitry with these huge, what look like massive, flamethrower hands at the end of it. And its face of this giant creation, which you recognize to be of a similar ilk to the Megabots that you destroyed weeks before of Womac's creation. This thing has a sort of dinosaur-like face. It's been created to have quite a lot more with these sharp, giant teeth, the size of your legs, probably, made out of metal and glimmering in the sunlight. And you hear Judge Quarter on the mic say, "God damn it, not today. Any day but today. We need to get Denny's body to the funeral spot."
Well, that may be, but it appears that some justice needs to be dispensed, and while we might not want it to happen today, today is all we have. I think we should try to make Denny proud. Give him the going out he always deserved.
I think today is the day, actually. think this is a great opportunity for Denny to lead his last charge alongside us. Let's take him.
Whoa, you mean his body? I mean, he's in a coffin right now over there.
Well, that's true, but he can't get any more dead. But he can still lead.
No coffin would stop Judge Denny.
You mean you want to put him on the front of one of those lawmaker things, like some kind of ships?
Damn right. The
Yeah.
perfect mute shields.
I was just thinking more of being at the front of the charge, but we can't put him literally at the front of the charge.
Let's show them that even after death, a judge remains a judge, and will do anything to protect Mega City 1.
God. Well, I just want to get this straight. Are we talking about using Denny as a battering ram right now?
Are we gonna take him out of the coffin and literally strap him to the front of a lawmaker?
Are we gonna have
whatever it is, the figurehead?
The citizens must see Denny in action one last time.
Will we just we put his foot on the pedal just so it goes?
Send him on a hoverboard and just watch him fly into the room.
There's an autopilot on the lawgiver.
Okay, yeah. Send him off like a one dead man missile. Can we at least load him up with some explosives?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's time for some weekend justice at Denny's.
Weekend at Denny's, yeah.
Oh,
What happened to us? What happened to
Well,
us?
Going full circle.
If anything else, Kane would yell out for the right flank of judges. If every judge is there, we can take this thing. He's going to send the right flank to go right, the left flank to go left, and then us in the vanguard, we go right down the middle. We aim for the joints, and then they come in on each side in a pincer move, and that's what he kind of yells out. And Denny's going to lead the charge.
Okay, so here's what's happening. Both flanks of the judges start laying down fire on this giant mega monster dino robot. Official title, patent pending, and it begins to soak up the fire, but it's suddenly distracted, and you see these huge gouts of flames just fly out both from his mouth as if it's a dragon, like a mechanical dragon, and from the sort of flamethrower hands, and you hear the screams of judges taking cover as they're burned alive in this napalm-like sort of fire. Meanwhile, what do you guys do exactly with Denny? What exactly is the plan?
I think we're gonna prop him on a Halo Master from someone and set it in auto mode. And there's 4 of us, so he's right in the middle. So there's Kane and Fair on either side, and Jody and Fremont on. And I'm yelling citizens of Mega City 1. Denny, Captain Denny is gonna protect you one last time.
Oh God!
It doesn't actually look too terrible because he must be buried with the mask, so it's he looks for the most part mostly alert if you're not scrutinized.
So you pop him out of the coffin and put his dead body onto
Just handcuff his hands to the logger after handlebars.
Yeah.
Alas, poor Denny.
Yes. I mean, we could just pop him on there and just load it with grenades.
fucking bobbing along on the fucking.
Just have to look and make sure it stays on things no.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. Okay, I need everybody to give me a agility roll because you're riding Lawmasters, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to do with a dead Denny on the front of it, on the prow.
Oh Jesus!
All right.
Ooh, a 12.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right, Pruitt, hit a 10 or a 14. Oh.
Oh my god, and Fuzzy Freaks, thank you guys for the raid! Welcome in. Right now we are playing some Judge Dredd, and you wouldn't believe what's happening. There's a giant dinosaur robot with flamethrowers, and these guys are trying to attack it with the dead body of one of their friends. You've come in at a great point.
Dredd.
Dear, oh dear. So what do we get here for... Oh my god, a 7?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, if we're talking about riding a Lawmaster, I do have skills in that, so I can roll more, right?
Yeah, if you have Lawmaster skills, you can totally use them, yeah.
Let me add 2 more to that. Fuck. 12. That's 12.
Hey,
That's
12 is a respectable figure. However, these rolls aren't fantastic. So you guys are going through like a hail of sort of like napalm fire, I guess, from the gouts of flame coming from us. So really what you're trying to do is steer away from the flames. Right now, it's not the easiest thing to steer, and there are a lot of flames sort of coming up at you. So you guys each take 3 burn damage as you get closer to this thing. You're closer to it, but you're not right up on its like feet if you wanted to start climbing it or start jumping up onto it. So what do you guys do at this point? You're maybe like 100 feet away, racing at it with the lawmakers. You've got Denny's body, and something probably has to happen or be planned for when you
Are we jumping
reach
off this thing at some
contact.
point?
Yeah, what's the plan now?
Are we jumping off this thing?
How many legs does it have? Like I know the other one sometimes had more
It
than
has
2.
it has 2 legs. This one, it's not an Octobot, so it's more like a Tyrannosaurus Rex bot.
Okay, whichever one is, it looks like it's putting most of its weight on right now. Like Kane's gonna yell out like "High X on the left leg" and like try to at least throw it off balance. As we're making
cool. Okay. All right, do you guys all want to take shots at the Megabot?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see some rolls.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh.
Really?
Really?
Oh my god.
We're so
That's
one of
8
those-
times.
I can hear him
Oh.
between the tears.
Alrighty, so that is a... Oh, I'm showing up on the stream. Get out of this. A 9, a 17, a 19, and 11. The 17 and the 19 hit. Susie and Shauna roll damage.
All
All right, so we went high X.
High X. Yep.
The highest of
Six.
X's.
2d5 plus 5.
All right.
Nice. I got 12 damage.
Nice. Alrighty.
All right. She did not. Oh, there you go. 6, 5. So 11. I did 11.
Fantastic. So 11 and 12, respectively. Fantastic. So the two, well, I guess the group of you fire out in unison, and these high X rounds crack off the machine welding, I guess, that's been fused together on the leg of this robot, and it blasts it apart. And you see this robot sort of just like take a knee almost. It's as though you've like swept one of his legs out from under him. And half of it, is sort of like half up, half down now, this huge construction. And this thing's, like 100 feet tall. It's gigantic. It's the ultimate Robot Wars dream.
So I raise my sword up
go
so
ahead.
it shines a light on its weak spot, like Shadow of the Colossus, and then we run up and jump on its thigh. Start climbing. Oh, wait, no. Different game. Sorry.
Well, by the way, at this point, you guys, you've swept the leg, as Fuzzy was saying there, and you're about to make sort of, connection with the robot. You're closing in 30 feet now. You got to try and jump off. What are we doing with Denny's body? We're letting that go. what's the plan here on impact?
Okay, so Judy is going to collect all of the grenades, everything that we have on us, explosive-wise. She's going to attach them to Denny as we're going. She's going to tuck him into, like, his belt. And she'll plant a kiss on his helmet and send him off, like, set his Lawmaster going faster ahead of us, so he impacts first.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And she will salute as he goes off.
There's just a slow motion, black and white montage of Denny's, head and body just being sort of flung towards slowly. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And then, as he connects, there's just this bloom of sudden white hot light and explosion. And of course, as we all know, this is in fact a mechanic within the book. If Captain Denny's body ever connects with a giant robot dinosaur, then it does 10d6 damage. So Caesar rolls 10d6 and then see what happens to this robot there.
Okay.
Like I say, it's in the book.
In the book.
Yeah.
It's 37 damage.
I'm just playing by the rules here. So Denny's body just cascades into the robot and causes this giant sort of rent in its armor. And while Denny's body itself doesn't destroy the monster, it's left open, almost as though a dragon's scales had been torn apart, like Dragonheart. He's rent this sort of like Denny's-shaped hole by the dinosaur's robot heart. And it's just kind of, death to the fleshy ones! But it's made a mark, and there's a weakness now. What do you guys do?
Well, Kane sees the opportunity that he's been training his whole life for as he revs his bike up and gets his hamstrings ready to propel himself forward. Because as we all know, he is a prodigious jumper. And if he can, he's going to try to jump into that hole to get inside the robot and take it down from within.
Oh my god. Fantastic. So to get up onto it, it's probably going to be like an agility roll to climb up this thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. I can do that. And
is anyone assisting Kane as well?
Oh my god, can we fastball special Kane? Can I fastball special Kane?
Do it.
Because Kane's only tiny. He's only little.
I mean, he's 5 feet tall, yeah.
That's little.
Just 5 feet
Can
tall.
I?
No, remember, he's 5 feet tall and about 4 feet wide.
Oh my god, can I help you throw him and I'll telekinetically, like, propel him?
Nice. Nice.
The most rectangular man. Yes, absolutely. For their assistance. For this assistance, get an extra 2d6 in this roll, one for each judge that's assisting.
Sweet.
Okay.
But I think that for just a straight agility, they get me to 5 at least.
Oh my god.
Okay, so as Judge Kane
Rolls on luck.
You can spend luck, yeah. I think I don't think it has to be before you do the roll.
I'm going to spend 2 luck to roll more dice.
Just make sure dice in there.
Yeah,
that's more like it.
There we go.
There
we
go.
Fantastic. So we have a total score of 20 after a little bit of luck. It looked there for a moment that Kane rather, was about to slip off of the robot and down into the flames below, which are heating up. But the two of you managed to fastball Kane back towards the heart of this robot. And at this point, noticing you, a tiny little ant upon it, it reaches down with a claw and is going to attempt to slash at Kane. So, let's see. Kane, does a 15 beat your defense?
Yes, it does. Yeah. And my defense is only like a 13.
Fantastic. So, that is a hit, and it's going to be a pretty nasty one because this thing's fucking huge. It does a total of 12 points of damage to Kane. You got your soak in there, obviously.
Yeah, we have our 5 soaks. That's 7. All right, I'm still okay.
It just sort of like bats you away with one of its giant claws as if you were nothing more than an ant. It hasn't even realized the damage done to its sort of external armor at this point. Judge Fair, you're back down. You're still on the lawmaker. You see Kane getting up there and swiped at by the creature. What do you want to do?
Think I'm gonna try to create a distraction by taking my wait a minute. All lawgivers are not flying, right? Sorry, different.
This one could be if
Okay.
if you wanted to do something.
I'm just gonna try to distract it, so I'm gonna use an overpass or something like that. A highway to jump in front of his face and yell curses at it. I'm gonna yell, "Womack, you got Denny, but you won't get me. Come if you can,
All right,
you little jumper."
Give me like a charisma check.
Yeah, my judge was built for that. 21.
21 is very, very good. Yeah, you immediately begin to call out these jibes towards Womack, who's very partial to a jibe. And you see the robot sort of turn its giant LED eyes towards you and no longer pay attention to Kane, who will swing over to now. Kane, it looks like your buddy has just bought you a moment's grace here.
Okay, so now that I'm up near this big Denny-sized rend in the chest plate, the whole point of being here is looking in. Does it look like I can see like the best place to pop a high X round, like this robot's?
Yeah, you sort of look inside to its like heart-like circuit board in there, which is beating away. You're pretty sure if you pop something in there, that'll do nicely. A grenade might even be better.
Well, in that case, he reaches down and realizes that Judge Judy took all the grenades. I'm sticking with cannon. And he's like, damn it. And just pulls out his lawgiver and it's like, he already has it on a high X. And he's just going to be like, all right, Dad, you never had a feeling for me, so you don't need a heart. And just pops a round right in there.
Oh, fantastic. Give us that attack roll.
17?
Yes, 17 is it. Describe to us what happens when you pump this high X round into the heart of a giant dinosaur robot.
I would think the effect would be instantaneous. I assume you don't want me to roll damage.
Yeah.
So he does this and not really thinking. Maybe Judge Kane's been a bit distracted by the whole day's events and everything, and so all of that explosion and recoil is going to come right out the hole like that he's literally standing in. So he gets to see it as the explosion just kind of rips apart circuit boards and servos and everything, and fire plumes out the front of the chest of this thing, and it, I don't know, roars as it starts to slump back. But I don't know. I would say that maybe I need to make some kind of roll because to maintain my footing or get blown out like away from this thing. Because he wasn't
absolutely.
Really this.
Yeah, I think it may even be up to your companions to attempt to help you here as well, because you guys watch as Kane pumps around into the creature, and you can see his body is about to be thrown up into the sky and down to the earth, which isn't a good look. Will definitely involve a lot of broken organs and backs. What do you guys do as you see this happen?
Fremont, can you catch him with your brain?
I can try. He's small enough, so I think I should be able to do it. Nice.
I mean, those hammies ain't small, so he's not small.
No,
Dad.
Come
I mean,
on,
you're not a
Freeman.
giant robot. You're not a
You
robot.
can
Dad.
do it. Think of all
Alright,
the
let's-
good feelings you have towards Judge Kane. Judge Fair's just gonna yell good memory, or what he assume are good memories for Freeman towards Kane. As a
Okay,
message.
and then Judy is going to stand where.
Showing good memories.
Good
I thought
memory.
you were gonna say
You're
think about. I thought you were gonna say think about Denny. It's like don't tell her think about Denny.
And I give you a look.
I'm just gonna let him drop.
I give you a look point.
I'm going to go stand where it looks like Kane's going to land, and she's going to turn to Fremont and say, if you can't catch him, at least slow him down so I'm not turned into fucking paste. And she's going to try and catch him.
You won't be able to survive a caning.
Ooh, okay. So, sounds like a promise.
Oh my.
Oh dear, it's happened again. Took us an hour this time. So,
We haven't
I
gotten
think-
together. You can tell.
well, sounds like it. So let's see. I think it is probably a strength roll to catch him out of the air. Kane. I mean, the one thing that Kane has going from is that he's 5 feet. And so there's a sort of a small child being being thrown around. Judy's got some
Okay.
strong arms, no doubt. He can
She's got those big arms, yeah.
works out.
She's, yeah. Okay, come on.
I mean, if you get
14?
14.
Wait, did Fremont
Kane,
slow me down? Did Fremont slow me down though?
yeah,
Before that?
Fremont, give me a like a willpower roll, I guess. Psionics rather. It's a psionic roll.
okay, okay.
And you got a luck point from me.
All right, yay. All right, so 5 plus 2. Damn. Okay, that is. That's good enough. That's 25.
Fantastic. So free falling begins to play as Judge Kane slowly flows down, and it's a really nice descent because it's just like motivational speeches coming from Judge Fair. He's in stasis a little bit, so he's floating slowly thanks to Judge Fremont. And
Judge. Living in
The law.
Hello. And just by the bar, the very
Oh, shit.
oh my god, talk about welcome in. Oh my god, that's
But he's free fall.
and then suddenly he just lands resting in Judge Judy's big, soft, comforting arms.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Brings
thing
her
is,
like a
is
child.
when he lands, like it's a little bit of an awkward catch, and like his head rocks back, and his helmet falls off, and he locks eyes with Judge Judy. It's just like, thank you.
She's kind of just like, you're welcome. And then, like, there's a moment, and she's just kind of like, that's Kane's actual face before she puts him down.
Judge Fair turns to Freeman. Can you read that out right now? Can you read that out?
It's like she's like, I don't want to. I don't want to know either way what's happening.
And he picks his helmet up and puts it back on awkwardly. Hey, it's a good catch. You're a good. That was a good catch, Judge
Yep.
Judy.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, she's gonna walk on.
Well, they'll certainly teach them in the academy. Crying, there is one left.
It is very true.
You know what? Think Denny would be proud. Think I'd like to go this way.
That was.
I agree, Judge Fair. Actually, I
That was.
think we should go ahead and get on to his service and do it upright. He would have wanted it that way.
Yeah. So, with the robot defeated, the rest of the judges sort of calm down, shooting's done, some soft jazz plays, and you guys pull up to the funeral, I guess the cemetery, and all the judges are shaking hands, meeting one another, talking about how great the robot fight was back there. Of course, I had to try to retrieve Judge Denny's body, what was left of it, so there is a sort of smoking husk.
I mean, his coffin can just be the giant robo dinosaur.
That will be his tomb. It will be his mausoleum.
So you bring like the part of the dinosaur's armor, like shell, with Denny's smoking husk of a corpse.
We're gonna put that over where we bury him. Yes.
I just got his helmet, and I'm just like trying to blow some of the cinders off it.
It's kind of flat.
His face is mangled like this. Oh, he's fine. He'll be fine. Just a
So
moment.
good.
It's quite
It's like a
hot.
frisbee now.
It's a boomerang-shaped head resting.
Now it's
The
like
casket.
one of his favorite toys. We could throw it.
He looks
Throw
like
him at
fucking.
a dog, and then a dog would bury him.
He looks like fucking post high ground Anakin Skywalker right now. Like,
Denny was the chosen one.
What? Oh.
oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh,
But,
I 100% wish I had the power that's like, ask the question of a dead person. It's like, I don't have that, sadly.
yeah, Vass is right. The
God.
service must go on, and you got your judges, you guys always chin up and get on with something even if it's not ideal. That's sort of part of the job. So, it's fitting. So all the judges sit down in the sort of church, I guess, and sit down and take a pew, and the sort of service begins. And there are people who come up, other servicemen, women that talk about how Judge Denny personally touched them, and how he influenced their careers and really inspired them to be better judges. And Judge Quarter, of course, is sort of presiding over the proceedings, and so he sort of brings people up, and he steps up himself after a smatter of applause after someone else has spoken a bit and said, well, there's a few people that I think were closest to Denny. Closer than anyone, really. Closer than even his family. Because, well, they didn't always like him. They didn't understand him the same way that these people did. And so now I'd like to invite the judges, Judge Kane, Judge Fair, Judge Fremont, Judy, really any of you that want to come up and say a few words about late Captain Denny. I know these guys went through hell with him and back again. And, well, he's been through hell with them as well. Water, electricity, fire, really most of the elements have ruined Denny's body, and now he's going back into the earth where he belongs. So please bring him up. Whoever wants to say a few words here.
And Kane will like wait for a second, and then just like, oh, God. And he'll step forward and fellow judges, we're all here today to remember a man who was our captain, who led us in some of the worst days that Mega City 1 has ever known. Days that we are not sure will survive, but if we hold the example that Denny set to heart, we can see a brighter day. It's no secret that I had more than a few mixed feelings about his promotion, about his meteoric rise in the judges. But only now do I realize what that did. It forced me to be a better judge. Seeing Denny, I realized that I had to do better. We all had to do better. As he led us, we of course needed to do better to win the day. And in the end, even on the way to being buried, he still led the charge against the evil forces that want to tear this city asunder. And when it comes to death and life like this, you come from nothing and you end nothing. But for a short time, you are something. And well, Denny, he certainly was something. That is beyond denial. So as we commit his body to the earth, we now know that he can do the best good from beyond the grave. As we remember him and his example, that we can all do better. All of us can probably do better. Most likely do a lot better. Thank you, Captain Denny, for everything.
Beautiful word, Kane. Beautiful word.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kane. I'm sure that would have meant a lot to Denny. You're right.
No.
You're right. You can definitely do better.
So Judge Fair's gonna take the spot. He's got his helmet removed. He's got his classic sunglasses, his long blonde curly hair flowing in his back. Looks like a weeping angel. He stands behind. I'm just gonna... What's the word? And couldn't come up with something myself, but I remember that Denny had a hero. So I dug up from the database a poem from this hero of his, T.G. Hooker actor Bill Shatner from late 20th century. And here it goes. I think it tells to the personality of Denny. Live life like you're gonna die. Because you're gonna. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're gonna die. Maybe not today, or even next year, but before you know it, you'll be saying, is this all there was? What was all the fuss? Why did I bother? I'm sorry. Goodbye,
Judy's gonna
Denny.
come up,
and I
take
lay her
Fred by
hand
the
on
shoulders, and just drag him slowly off stage. And she just leans into the microphone. Tip your weight, Steph.
I lay a hand on the flattened helmet with his crushed skull inside, crying.
Very, very moving stuff.
It's okay. It's okay.
Very, very moving stuff indeed. And truly one of the great poets of the 20th century.
I know so
Appreciate
little about the 20th century. That's so sad. So many beautiful things were written then.
That's right. Yes, well, and I'm sure that Denny loved all of them as well. He really was quite something. Judy, Fremont, is there anything else you'd like to add? You don't have to, but I know it would mean a lot to Denny. I know he thought of you as, well, more than just friends.
Excuse me.
I mean, the rumors abound.
What?
I don't mean to be too presumptuous, but
Okay,
everyone
no.
around
And
here
Judy
knows
just
Denny
steps up
was
to the
a bit of a
podium and she
player.
goes, okay, no, let me tell you about Denny.
There's a murmur. What?
You see, like, for the first time, I think maybe Fremont is smiling at this. It's just like, yes. Yes.
Let me tell you about Denny. When I first met that kid, he was a sniveling, groveling little worm who had a huge crush on me. It's okay, most of you in here do. I've come to accept it. I'm sure you've come to accept it. Nothing's ever going to happen. Like nothing ever happened with Denny. But kid grew on me.
Shrug.
Kane looks awkwardly away.
Some not.
Judy's just completely ambivalent to the people being like, what? But let me tell you,
Fair way to start.
that kid proved himself to be the most shittest, grovelingest, snivellingest worm I've ever known. And do you know what? I respect the hell out of him for that. Because that kid was true to who he was. I started out threatening him. And as he leaves, I'm going to threaten all of you. If you don't stop talking shit about me and Denny hooking up, I swear to God, I will kill each and every single one of you. And I make that promise on Denny's flat pack body behind me right now. I swear, on that flattened helm, I will eradicate every judge in this hall. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. There's some very confused applause, very light smattering.
I think Judge Fremont is just like trying to read which one of them just seems terrified at Judy's threat, and she'll notify Judy afterwards which one of them they were.
Yeah, I think Judge Quarter says some strong words at a very difficult time. We're all going through a great deal, so I'm sure Judge Judy. Well, yes. It was a lot. It was a lot. Maybe too much. But.
It's definitely.
Maybe a little too much at a raw time like this, especially after, his whole body's been lacerated and literally burned up in a steaming pile in the corner. But it's fine. It's fine. We understand. I think some of us, there are definitely those of us who don't understand at all.
She's just going to sit back down and gesture to Fremont to take the stage. Follow that.
She'll just go up there and just say, well, the one thing I know about Denny is that he was loyal. And I read his mind despite constant misgivings otherwise. I respect him for that. And he went out like a pure judge. In battle. Counting today twice, even in death. Thank you. And she'll just walk off.
Wow. Powerful stuff. Way to bring it home. Well, there is one more speaker who's asked to come up today. Well, actually, there's two. I should say. Walter did ask, but I thought it best not to. I took a look at the speech he'd prepared, and quite frankly, I didn't like what I read. It spoke to multiple war crimes that I think really we ought to investigate after this. Really, I'm not sure how we gave Walter such a long leash. It needs to be reined in. There are several people have gone missing, and I'm pretty sure it's due to him. But we can deal with that later. There is a guest speaker came up under the name of Judge Schmomak. Not familiar with this judge. Must be from a different department than mine, but the name's here. So if there's a Judge Schmomak, I would like to come and say a few words. And a door flings open. And suddenly you see a shadow cast. And before you stands your nemesis, clad in funeral garb, a black suit and tie. Judge Womack is before you. And there's a sudden, you take a breath from all of the judges around, and Womack just saunters in. thought I'd make a little appearance for our good friend Denny. After all, I did make sure that little weasel died. And murmurs go around the crowd. Womack, you bastard! Murderer! Murderer! And Womack grins as he takes it all in. Yes, that's right, but I came here to tell you one thing. Yeah. You see, my complex where Denny died had cameras everywhere. I filmed the whole thing. And the rest of you judges here might have been told a different tale to what really happened here. You see, I read the report. Said that my robots killed Denny, electrocuted and burned him. All of this drowned him to death, but the tape shows a different story. And suddenly, projected up against the back wall of the church, just above Judge Denny's mangled face hole, you see a projection of a CCTV camera as it watches the group of you flail around Denny's body, and the clip sort of plays where you guys are like, I don't know what we do. Like, maybe we should just pump him full of drugs, and yeah, and you know he's gonna die. You know, he's already dead. Maybe electrocute him some more. And all of this, happens, and we watch as finally you call it, and you try everything you could, but Denny dies. But in this light, with the recording, without the context of the rest of the situation going on, it certainly doesn't look good for you. And there are suddenly some murmurs and whispers from the rest of the judges, and Judge Quarter sort of stands up and says, okay, hang on here. Kane, Fair, Fremont, Judy, what do you have to say for yourselves? This is very strange.
Well, we just tried to save him. Whatever we did it for love.
We tried our hardest.
And Kane, we love Denny.
Well, let me tell you something, Judge
Like
Porter.
Agatha Christie.
If you notice, we don't have our medic with us. And while the 2 weeks of first aid training that is mandatory first year Judge Academy is quite extensive, it is first year and it's only 2 weeks. So yes, we were underprepared. But maybe that is a reflection of the education system of Mega City 1 and is something that should be handled by the politicians, not judges.
Womack says, speaking of politicians, I've come here to announce my candidacy for president of Mega City 1, and I'm running on an agenda, nay, a policy of making sure that there's more education money for judges, more spending than ever on the defense budget of the Dolls of Justice to make sure that things like this don't happen again. And I'm calling it the Denny Bill, to make sure no one goes out the way Denny did, thanks to lack of education of these stupid judges. And suddenly murmurs, oh my God, it's a good idea.
How dare you use his memory for political gain? Everybody knows your goal here. You're the one that started this. You're the one that made this problem. You can't break it and then say, I'm the only one that can fix it. That's just not how it works.
Well, I'm not the one who broke him this time. But I tell you what, fair's fair. How about we settle things once and for all with a good old-fashioned funeral fight?
A funeral fight? This tradition has not happened for years.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's only
At
saved
least two
for
and a half.
most important funerals of them
almost
all.
3, actually.
That's right. So what do you say? Do you four think you can take me on?
Judy unzips her jacket, pulls open to see that she is just loaded full of weapons, and goes, "Game on, bitch."
Well, if you win, you kill me. If I win, not only do I kill you, but I become president of Mega City 1.
Do we become president if we win against you? Also,
Judge Quarter says, that's the rules of the funeral fight. It's a sacred tradition. That's how we got a current president.
So if we win, can we rule as a judge's council?
That's some murmuring. All right, yeah, fine, that's fine.
All right. All
Or
right.
can we accept?
It's a big political event.
Political election
Biggest
fight.
event of the
Flat
political
screen roll.
calendar.
I love debates in Mega City 1. Hell,
It's
lot
time
better
for
than here.
some primary action. The cook is gonna be bloody. I'm gonna
Okay.
gerrymander your ass big time.
Something. When we get done here, you're gonna be pulling 6 feet under.
I'm gonna gerrymander your ass. Oh, that's a good one. So at that point, there, the Western music begins to play, and the Denny's molten flesh body in the center, while you judges face off against Womack on the other side of this small fucking church hall. And Corder comes in to whisper you guys some advice and says, listen, you guys, this is the biggest job you've ever had, the most important mission ever. Don't let me down. Do this for Denny.
Denny would have loved to be president.
Oh my god.
Just imagine all of us
And you
put a hand
probably-
in the middle, like 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
go.
Sure.
Can he be president with us posthumously?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, well, why don't we
Posthumous
rename the
president.
president palace after him? Let's just rename the palace after him. How about that?
It's
Hall of Denny.
posthumously
Denny's.
inaugurated.
Denny's
as a
1600 Denny Avenue. Like,
We'll rebuild the city in Denny's image. Oh my god. It's
Oh,
like statues of Denny, like he's fucking Lenin.
Denny, oh, Judge Denny.
We'll set up like a little cryo chamber, have him painted up so he's not as
Oh.
flat.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
burned.
It's time to do the thing that you guys do best. Dispense justice. And with that, you eye your opponent Womack, this tall, about 5'1" individual with rippling muscle and abjectly the greatest calves and hams you've ever seen on a human before. No doubt the finest specimen of hamstrings you will ever witness. And he, of course, is armed as well with sort of twin revolvers that he has on his hip at this point. He takes off his shirt so he can see his bulging muscles and looks towards a group of you. Who wants to play?
Dad, you're gonna have to stop embarrassing me now. And yeah, Kane steps forward, like starts descending the stairs from the stage. Fingers twitching at the hilt of his gun. And you hear a whistle from the background.
What do the rest of you do? Are you like flanking behind him in like an awesome? Is it like an awesome
Yep.
slow-mo walk right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
Judy still has a jacket open, and she's got like she's got 2 guns like in holsters under her arms, but she's also got her laser sword that she never gave back to the armory. So she's just walking with that out behind Kane.
Fair is
just
pulling off his shirt also. And he's
Everybody's going shirtless.
he's very hairy, but
Oh
very
my
muscular, very hairy.
Oh. Oh. Judge Fremont just
So-
walking down in disbelief. This is not what she was taught at the Hall of Justice.
Judge Fremont is having a sort of Theoden moment where it's like, how did it come to this?
Yeah. Am I dead already? Am I in hell? Did I not get off that lawgiver?
Where is the horse and the rider? Yeah. So
Still a
the
newbie.
group-
Are there any rules about wearing shirts? Role play.
so not
I'm the
today.
director.
And so, at this point, as a group of you walk towards fingers twitching on your revolvers, it's time for us to roll for initiative, my friends. Let's do it. The final confrontation is here.
How does that work again?
My God. I believe it is intuition plus tactics.
Ooh.
Wait, that shouldn't have been. I'm only 15. I don't know why the +5 was still there.
Wait. Ooh, 20 for
Oh.
Womack. It's a good roll. So Kane on a 15. Judge Fair, what'd you get?
13.
13. And Judge Judy,
14.
14. And Judge Fremont,
Also a 13.
also 13. Okay, between you and Judge Fair, who wants to go first?
I'll let Judge Fair go first.
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic stuff. So, beginning of round one, Womack whips out his pistols and automatic gunfire begins to trail out of his modified robot guns, which are just extensions of his hands. And he's going to make an attack roll against all of you. So he lays out a spread of fire. So first one's against, we'll go around in a circle. So Kane, an 11 versus your defense, Kane.
Nope.
Misses. Judge Fair is a 20, which is bound to hit. Judge Judy is a 21 as well. And Judge Fremont is an 18. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll just roll one damage roll here. That'll be a little easier. So 6 points of damage. Sorry, +3, so 9. 9 minus your soak. As he just sort of boom, 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 and he laughs and says, this is going to be easier than I thought. None of you have the power of the robots on their side. I do. And it takes over to Judge Kane's turn. How do you respond to your father?
Kane whips his Lawmaster out, just saying standard rounds or just like auto fire or whatever, because that's actually not an option on here, but whatever. So I'm just switching it to normal, and he's going to let fly with a shot here, and that's what 2d6 plus 2. So yeah, let's see. Oof, it's probably going to be a miss.
13 is unfortunately a miss.
Okay, well, then that's that. But
Alrighty.
I'd be moving kind of towards cover.
Yeah. And to be fair, there's not a whole lot of cover here aside from like pews, which does make it a little difficult. But that being said, Judge Judy, it is your turn. Womack's mocking his son. Hi, clearly I didn't teach you good enough.
All right,
To the
Judy
training hall.
is gonna run straight up to Womack and get like in melee range with him, and she's gonna try and twat him with
In
a
that
big
fucking
laser
drill.
sword. Yeah,
Twat him with a laser sword.
twat him with a laser sword. My Yorkshire came out there.
You know, it was gonna be that kind of fight.
That's the
Whoops,
new
I
game
missed the
show
box.
from Yorkshire.
Twat him with a laser sword.
Twat him with a laser sword.
Oh, almost a crit.
That's a 23.
Oh, that's pretty close to a
And a
crit.
crit,
That is
yeah.
a hit.
Oh, close to a crit. Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Let's take it away.
is. I think that's 3d6 damage. Oh,
Sounds
god damn
right.
it! I missed the box
Maybe
again.
more.
It's 11.
Laser swords are temperamental. Okay, 11. Very nice. You realize something as you hit, slice into Womack's skin. You realize that it's not really skin. You cut through it, you slice through, and what looks to be artificial skin and sort of like electronics. And you realize that the work done to Womack is more extensive than you even realized. It seems that he too has become something of a synth himself. Ah, surprise. Got a few additions.
Well, then.
Judge. Judge Judy just says, Well then.
Yeah.
Looks towards the camera. She's like, well then. And it's Judge Fair's turn. Just pulls a kind of.
That was unexpected.
Judge Fair's gonna grab hold of the flattened head of Denny and say,
Oh.
Denny,
As in,
one last time to be the shield of justice. And I'm gonna sport him
Oh my god!
to protect myself.
Just
While
flappy flesh
progressing
head.
towards Womack and shooting eye hex to him.
You bring this hot, smoking pile of processed flesh, and you're trying to you're gonna ram it. You're gonna ram it into Womack's face.
Yes.
The kiss of death. Denny's fucking face. Okay, give me an attack roll. A melee attack roll. I suppose, pretty strength based.
Melee, so yeah. I'm just gonna use all my luck.
It's just chunks of Denny's fucking body.
23.
Oh man, so close to a crit as well. That's 2 5s and 2 6s. Yeah, so that is a hit. Give us that. I don't even know what fucking Denny damage is, but previously it was 10d6, but he is somewhat reduced in mass. So let's have 3d6 for Denny. It's like a laser sword when it comes to justice.
14 damage.
You guys have fucking
Better than a laser sword.
defiled this man's body to a point which
We
is
should do
beyond countenance. 14 damage. Yeah,
Judge heads are actually better than the laser swords.
you smash Denny's fucking face into Womack's, and some of Denny's face is left on Womack's by the time you pull the head away. It's actually quite fucking sinister. And, and you think for a second, was this a good idea? Judge Fremont, it's your idea. Denny's been so fucking useful.
Poor man, even in death. Yeah, so Fremont just stands up.
More
just,
useful than
oh my god, yes. Just stands up, just gives the angriest look to everyone around, and just like, let's just get this farce over with. I'm gonna enjoy being in charge. Why don't you judge this, Judge Womack? And she'll just kind of gather the electricity from the building and just fire it at him. So that is going to be you. I am going to spend some luck. I'm going to spend 3 luck points to bring that up. So that's psi plus telepathy 566. All right. Plus 2. 3 more. Sorry. 24 versus no.
24 is
Yeah.
certainly enough.
Yeah, and so I am going to spend the 6 points from my side pool on this to activate it, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the 14 to give myself 7 more dice on this.
Fantastic.
So that's 11 d6.
Oh my god.
Medal, yeah.
That's metal as fuck.
Fuck. Holy shit.
38.
Freeman's been holding back, so 38. Woo!
This
Okay.
whole thing. Her world's
so you-
crumbling around her, so.
So I'll describe it like this: you haven't killed him, but you have sent him into second phase of boss mode. So what does that look like, Judge Fremont?
She just gathers the all the electricity from coming into the lights of the building, just kind of gather, just kind of see a human-sized bolt of lightning just kind of sear through him.
Absolutely, yeah. And then his body is just racked with all of this electricity flowing through him. And you realize all this like circuitry and stuff, his muscles just begin to inexplicably begin to bulge and like burst out in size. All this current running through him damages him, but also makes him fucking huge. That's the last mistake you'll ever make, Fremont. And it's round 2. And this time, with his big boy muscles, Mr. Womack is going to try and grab Kane and sort of like throw Kane into Fremont with this massive display of strength. He's supercharged, and that is a critical hit, a 25 with 3 6s, and Womack just picks you up like you're nothing. He's a lot taller than you. You know, he's 5'1", and as he towers above you,
it's an important inch.
It really is. An inch can really make all the difference, as I learned to my. Anyway, so 3 6s throws Kane over into Fremont, and both of you are going to take 3d6 of damage here. It's pretty low, but it's plus 3 in strength, so 9 damage to Kane and Fremont as the two of you are thrown into each other. And Kane's, you know, he's heavy and he's wearing a lot of armor, and it's uncomfortable. Yeah. It smashes you into the in the back of the wall of the church, and the two of you actually you're thrown so hard that the two of you are thrown outside of the church. Break through a wall. You know, Fremont is like sent backwards through a wall, and Womack pursues afterwards. So we're now boss phase mode 2. Is you guys are sort of out fighting in the cemetery now. So, Kane, what do you got for us?
Ooh, Kane. Let's see. Well, first off, he's going to. He knows how to fall. He's been thrown around a lot, being a small fry in his life. So he just kind of goes with it. And as he's tumbling through the wall and everything, he pulls his lawgiver close and says "Hi X" as his free action, and then waits to hit the ground. And he just kind of turns. And I'm going to aim because to get a couple of extra dice on the attack. As I just kind of hit the ground and slide, and as I'm sliding, right as I bump into like a tombstone to stop me, and I've just pulled up an aim, and I'm just going to aim for the head and squeeze off a round.
Fantastic.
So that's that. Woo! That's 2 more. So yeah, I think that's a hit.
That looks it feels like a hit.
Feels like a hit.
Yeah.
So we switched over to high X. So that's what
when it comes to bullets, it's all about what you feel, really.
Oh!
16 points of damage into Womack, who for the first time looks as though he has like a kind of pause in his step, in his confidence in this situation. There's a flicker of doubt in his eyes as he realizes that if there is anyone who can defeat him, it's probably the person that he trained and created in his son. And it's Judge Judy's turn. What do you got for us?
Okay, so Judy, unperturbed by the lack of impact that her sword had last time, and because she's not got to use the sword often, she's still going to use the sword. But out in the graveyard, she is running full tilt. She jumps on a tombstone to give her some leverage and some height, and she's gonna like jump and try and bring the sword down on Womack from above. An attempt will be made. All right, let's go. 18?
18 is a hit.
All right. 11 damage.
Very, very nice. 11 points of damage. Woo! All right, his armor obviously eats up some of it, but you're sort of breaking through this this like synthetic armor, I guess. It's a little off-putting, not only because his muscles are so fucking huge, but also because he has like parts of Denny's like dead face now like smattered over his, thanks to Judge Fair. But you know, you're making good headway. Speaking of which, Judge Fair, you've literally headway. What are you? Judge Fair, that was unintended, but it was good. What are you up to? You've watched them as they sort of like walked outside into the cemetery.
I run towards Womack, and I think maybe Denny's head falls from Womack's face, and at the feet of Fair, he looks at it and he realizes what he's done. He's gonna try just create a distraction. So he's gonna turn to Womack Fair. Womack, what have we become? I know. I did not realize you had those issues in your heart. If I did, I would not have postponed you being a guest on my podcast show inside of you with Judge Fair. Look at us now. We should have talked out those issues of yours and mine together. Maybe the Denny would still be among us. Maybe the city would not be burning. Maybe I would still have my podcast. What have we done, Womack? What have we done?
I did everything I had to do. I don't
It's not
regret
too
a
late
thing.
for your interview.
It's too late for me now. I either die here or I ascend to greatness. There's nothing else left.
Can I roll my charisma too?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a charisma check. I was almost.
Oh no!
Oh my!
Oh no, a 10. Oh my god, critical fail, 4 ones. Yeah. The dice are telling the story here. Womack is not moved at all, and he realizes now, all of the things that he's done. They come crashing down on him, and you watch as across his face plays all of the regret and the mistakes that he's made. But he now realizes that it's too late for him. He can't go backwards. There's only forwards, and he'll either win or he'll die. And that's where things are at right now. I was almost worried for a second that Judge Fair was like, there must always be a Denny, and like puts on the fucking like skin mask.
Oh, no. Hannibal Lecter.
It could still happen. Yeah.
Leatherface. Oh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, it's Judge Fremont's turn. You packed a punch last round. What have you got for us now?
So Judge Fremont's just gonna stand up, kind of like wipe blood from her nose, and just take out her badge, face it at Womack, and just say, "Under the justice of the Hall of Justice, you're under arrest and wanted for the murder of Judge Denny." And then she'll list off some things, but in Judge Kane's head, and she'll just like go for it. So I'm using my one of my traits, commanding. I'm going to spend 2 actions to give Kane a free action to do what he wants.
Alrighty. Kane, you've been given a chance here by Fremont.
Okay. How far away is he from me right now?
He's closing in on you 15 feet at this point.
Well, yeah, Kane, in all of the chaos and everything, explosions, Denny's face flying to and fro, Kane like slowly turns and looks at all of his fellow judges. Maybe as Sarah McLachlan starts playing in the background, something sad, and he realizes he's like, I have to finish this, and he pushes himself off the ground, taking his lawgiver, and strides forward to meet his father. And as he does, he's like, "You taught me everything I know. You taught me to make the hard call, and I did that against you, just like I'm doing now. Somebody's got to take you down, and since you rose me up, I guess I can only repay the favor." And he runs right at him. And basically, I'm running up and just sticking the high-X gun right at his chest and just pulling the trigger point blank.
That's it. And thank you as well to IFAC, who's given me a nat 20 to use. Critical success action, maybe. Oh, that was That's good. A 20 is a
20
hit.
to hit. That's going to be another 14 damage. And technically, I don't know if he's full robot, but technically that should be double damage with the high X. So
He's I've definitely been taking that into account for all of these robotics shit that's going on with him. He's largely a robot now. I think previously he wasn't, but definitely classified as that now. You tear into him, and you just sort of like pump the bullet into his chest, and his eyes go wide as the bullet rings out. And for a second, it's one of those moments where we're not sure who's been shot. You know, where like the camera sort of pans out, and then there's just a bang, and both of your eyes sort of go wide, and you watch as Womack just slips and leans into you and says, "I'm sorry, son. I failed you."
no, you failed justice.
And with his last axe, his face turns into a sneer. Justice. There is no justice. And you hear a little cling.
No, Dad.
Go ahead.
No, Dad. You failed just us.
And you hear a little cling. And the telltale sound of a grenade. And the pull, the ping, you know what I'm trying to say, the pin being pulled. Fuck, that was hard. And I'm going to use my nat 20 for him to be able to do that. And so I need all of you guys to give me an agility test if you want to jump out the way, or if you're going to try and do something else, let me know. But jumping out the way seems like the immediate sort of act when you hear a grenade going off.
Will?
Yeah.
Judge Kane, hearing the telltale pull of a pin from a grenade, he jumps with his father in an embrace, jumping away from his colleagues. So if that can give them any kind of advantage on this roll, he does that.
Wow. Absolutely. Roll an extra 2d6 for Kane's intervention here.
It's an 18 total for me.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oh, 13.
13 for Fremont. This is over. It's all right. What do we get there for a Judge Fair? Oh, you're muted, buddy.
I'm gonna jump with Judge Kane, making the scene more awkward than emotional.
Awkward hug. Huddle hug.
Awkward grenade hug.
With the corpse of Denny.
Kane's jumping on the grenade, and you're jumping on Kane. It's sort of like a hot potato situation. Here we go.
I don't know what I roll in this situation.
Okay, so Fremont and Judy are spared by Kane, and some and by a little bit also by Fair's intervention, although it didn't seem quite necessary for Fair to get involved. I'm sure it had some effect. And the blast goes off, and there's smoke everywhere in the cemetery. And you can tell that there is a sort of hole in the ground, a smoking hole in the ground, where the grenades went off. And what do we see emerging, if anything, from the hole? I handed this one to you guys. Do you guys get out of this one?
I mean, you know, that's how much damage did the grenade do, Will? I had 10 hit points, so.
All right, let's roll 5d6. I rolled really well on 5d6.
Yeah, I'm dead as fuck.
Oh my god.
25 damage.
So with my 5 soak, I take 20. Okay.
20, yeah. See, it's sort of
Yeah,
minus
so I'm
10.
negative. Huh?
Yeah, negative 10. It sounds like.
Okay, so I take 15. So I'm at negative 5. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. For Kane and for Fair, That would be enough to kill them. They are wearing armor still, which is something. But you are like right next to the grenade. Well, at least Kane is right next to the grenade. Fair is, I mean, pretty close. It's still gonna hurt. Even with a person's body there. You look into the smoking hole, and the two of them are not moving. Whether or not they could be saved, we're in a bit of a Denny situation here potentially.
Oh boy. Okay.
It had to end this way. Oh.
All right. Do we want to split? Take care of.
Okay, let's try. I'll take Kane.
I
You
have
take
luck.
fire. I don't want to touch that.
Okay. All right. Let's.
Let's try some CPR.
Walter the robot sort of comes along and helps you with some, if you ever need any drugs, I'm here to help. But dear, this is quite a mess. Let's give it a try. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just a grenade. No one ever died from a grenade.
I mean, they're mostly in one piece.
A grenade never hurt anyone.
Maybe the pin, but the grenade.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what do you want us to roll for? Attempted CPR.
Well, I guess what are you doing? Attempted CPR. Let's see what. Oh boy. I mean, I think an intuition could work here.
Okay.
Yeah, it requires perception or insight. I guess so. That's probably the closest one. Or logic, intuition or logic, whichever one is better for the two of you.
The story is coming full circle. You got flashbacks of Denny trying to save it once you do it.
Oh, that's a 9.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll use a luck to reroll that one.
No.
That's the number one, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no. Oh my
Bravo,
god.
Okay.
another one.
Nice.
Great. Brilliant.
Let's cut over to Fremont and Fair.
Yep. So similar thing. I'm gonna actually yell for Walter. It's like he's gonna need a lot of drugs, Walter. And
I'm already on it.
Prepare for the kiss of death, Judge Fair, and I'll give you CPR. Let's see how well this does. Ugh. Our lodge. So intuition. I'm gonna spend my luck, the rest of my luck, because. All right, let's do it.
The hour. Oh, man,
One more.
Roast.
I got one more. Luck. Come on. Dear, what again? Please.
Oh no, it's a 1.
Kiss of death. Oh my.
That's so bad. Walter, you guys are panicking. You're realizing that you're losing him. You're losing both of them. And Walter says, there is one thing that might work. They mentioned the kiss of death. What about the kiss of life?
What do you say, fist of it?
What? Walter, what are you talking about?
What I mean is, it's said that such things have great power. They have a show of love.
Who said these things, Walter?
Well, then Judge Fair is dead because I don't know what like.
Well, there is one person that Judge Fair loved above all else.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I saw his lips over there on the ground.
Fremont, get Denny's lips. Tell nobody this is gonna happen.
Yes. Oh my God.
This is the
pick
birth
up
of
his-
necromancy in this world.
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
You pick up his like worm-like lips.
There's a head left. I don't think the head is attached.
It's not attached. It's just a pair of lips.
Oh
To call
God.
Denny's lips is a generous statement.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
2 flaps of lip-ish
I think
flesh.
those are lips that could be ears. I don't know.
And Walter says, and Kane, and Judge Judy, I believe Judge Kane may have harbored some feelings towards you.
She looks away dramatically, blushing. I'll do it.
Looks
Tell
back
no
at
one.
Kane.
They're both like that. They're both like that. Like, what?
It's all a plan.
Don't pick up Denny's tongue. We don't think we'll need that. Just the lips. Just the lips. Okay, now I want first of all Judge Fair to describe what happens when his lips touch those of Denny's, and then we're gonna go to Judge Kane and we're gonna hear what happens there.
The scorched lips of Denny.
Judge Fair, you're in the darkness, and then something brings you back. Something cold and clammy and flesh-like and burn on your lips, and something drawing you back away from that tunnel of darkness. What happens?
I think just a single tear runs through his, along his cheek, and he utters the words, "Kane, is that you?"
Oh my god! Like you just see like Judge Fremont's eyes just like get real like, what is happening?
What the?
And she holds like the lips of like this.
Take me, let's fly away together, like we did on that station.
She's gonna have to like mind wipe herself after this. This is...
It's not the
This
love
is
triangle
scarring.
we expected, but it's the love triangle we deserved.
Yeah. Yes.
My God.
God.
And Judge Judy and Judge Kane. Judy, what do you do?
Judy,
Tell us your
very much a civil manners before, is looking away. She's blushing, she's embarrassed as she leans down and plants a smacker on Judge Kane.
What is Judge Kane?
Judge Kane had surrendered himself to the light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe in that time he hears a call from behind, and it's one of those things where he doesn't want to turn around. He thinks his job is done, but he checks one last time, because a good judge always double checks, and it's a thing where if we were to follow with the camera, he would turn his head, and in the same moment the lips would meet his, and he would open his eyes again. Back alive, and just not resist the embrace.
Wow. Wow.
Just
That's
right
hot.
next to Fair, who's like, Kane,
At least you are having a
that
romantic
you?
moment. This is messed up.
lips are so
happened?
cold. Your lips are so cold.
Oh my God. So as this beautiful moment is happening, the camera sort of just like fades upwards, gently lifting upwards away from the cemetery of the romances, which are finally blossoming unexpectedly but very pleasantly below. Womack's smoking corpse nearby, finally laid to rest. The robot wars at last, long last, over, and in theory, a new council of judges is set in place as a new rulers of Mega City 1. That is where I feel like it's only responsible, because this is going to get dark. That's a hard curtain call on this season of Judge Dredd Assault
shit.
on Justice. Well played, my friends. Well played. Wow. It's safe to say no one saw this coming. I don't think anyone could have predicted 12 weeks ago or whatever it was that this would be where we are. And yet painfully, this is the reality in which we exist. All of the terrible things that we've done together. In the end, it was worth it. Because the real story, the real lesson that we all learned is that sometimes you've just got to kiss a dead person to come back to life. And it's beautiful. It was truly beautiful. Very moving episode all around, and and as the season, hilarious at every fucking turn. I cannot believe the characters we came up with and the stories we told. In many ways, it feels unreal, but that is all we have time for here today. I want to go around though, the cast and the crew, and I want to learn a little bit about what's racing through your heads, about the implications of the potential crimes that have been committed by us here as a group. So, Pruitt, how was that tonight for you and Judge Kane?
Let me tell you something, Will. This has been an absolute joy. This has been a great crew to play with, but I foresee Judge Kane being very conflicted about his impending romance with Judge Judy. It's one of those things where like he occasionally like arrests her because he catches her doing something wrong, and then she convinces him to not turn her in, and then it ends in like very weird by the book night of romance. Like, and with always like, just don't do it again, and she's always promises that she won't, but it's just one of those things. But you know, he would enjoy leading Mega City 1, feeling that he could help guide this back to the prominence that it once knew. And but other than that, he will always remember his father, and begrudgingly, he will remember Denny as the example, the low bar in which always to strive to step over.
Oh my god. That's fucking fantastic. Callum, God only knows what's happened here today with Judge Fair. How was that tonight for you and the judge?
What a nice conclusion. I'm a bit surprised that people are surprised by what happened, because it was foreshadowed in previous
Seemed like a
episodes.
natural conclusion, yeah.
To people to go check back past episodes to find out the clues for this conclusion, which was coming. I think he will insist that Denny is part of the council, the posthumous way. So the good news for Kane is that he can literally step above Denny on a regular basis as he's laying in the presidential council of Mega City 1.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but his lips were never recovered after that. So, where are they?
That's so fucking sinister. Oh. And who tried to recover?
Forgot about it. No.
Oh, that's upsetting.
So he's got metal lips instead on his corpse
Oh.
for aesthetic reasons.
Oh, that's unpleasant and uncomfortable. Well, on that bombshell, Susie, what the hell was that?
Do you know? I wish I could tell you, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. I have not laughed that hard in quite some time. Fairly certain I hurt something in my ribs at one point there. Holy shit, I love playing with these lot though. You guys are amazing. Each one of your characters was spectacular. They brought so much to the group. Kept Judy in check. You know, she could have been much worse than she was. And who knows? Maybe Judge Kane is the guy to finally get her on the straight and narrow. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe maybe in the future there will be a return. But yeah, that's a story for another day, and one that I'm not sure I'm ready to visit personally or experience. But oh my god, perhaps the only sane judge.
I don't think so.
Judge Freeman, Shauna, how's that tonight for you? And
It was still like, I don't think she's sane anymore after what just happened.
she's broken.
Oh my god, this was so much fun. My face hurts just laughing. Oh, so much fun to play with everybody. But yeah, I think, definitely Judge Fremont. She finally got what she wanted, being on the council. It's just, we were truly the assault on justice, I guess, in the end. And she, every once in a while, she thinks about maybe trip to the cursed earth, maybe bring justice there,
Yeah.
and make her forget what happened with Judge Fair that fateful
Yeah,
day.
well, definitely with the amount of power you just walked into, the crimes, the justice, the conspiracies are only bound to be worse than they were before. So yeah,
I think
definitely something to check.
we realized that the assault on justice was in our hearts all along.
The whole time. Yeah, that's it.
We were the assault on justice.
Yep.
Wait a minute, were we? Oh my God! Well,
God.
this has been an absolute delight for the past goodness knows how long, 10, 11, 12 episodes or so that we've been playing here with the assault on justice. But that's where this season ends. But fear not, Encounter Roleplay. We are returning in September with a brand new season, headed by a brand new director, Charlie Frost and Fire. Go follow her. Go follow us at Encounter RP to keep up with the new shows that are going to be coming up in September. Perhaps there will be some more Mega City 1 action out there if you guys are interested. I couldn't possibly comment, but man, this was so much fun. So silly, and as soon as we gave in to the ridiculousness, that's when things started to become 100 times more crazy and fun. So yeah, that's a lesson. Sometimes give in to the hijinks and let them tell the story. But that's all we got time for here tonight, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for enjoying us and being here with these judges each and every week, pushing them onwards, throwing crazy monsters at them. But until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we want to be here kissing our dead friends and using their faces to murder our fathers with. Because that's what Judge Dredd is all about. I'm going to get off before I say anything else. Good night, everybody. Bye.